and welcome to another interview. Our guest is another great fighter, Zubair. Before we kick off, I just want to say thank you to Natalis Frederick because he enabled this wonderful interview, and now we can go. So, on the first end, can you please introduce yourself?
Mo, Mini Cannon Zubair, and I'm an amateur fighter with a record of 2 wins, 1 defeat.
What's your background of why did you start training MMA and what led you to this wonderful sport?
I started off doing boxing, and then I trained a few years in boxing, and then I wanted to move gyms, so I moved to the UTC gym, and I've never looked back since. I just like training different disciplines as just training the one would get a bit boring, so I like to mix it up. And then a lot of people told me that I had potential to go far, so it's just something that I stuck to.
Can you describe your fighting style? Because I watched some of your fights. So, are you a ground guy, or you're a stand-up guy, or you're a mixture? Because when I watch your fights, it's really hard to conclude which fighting style it is.
I'm all rounded. I can strike, wrestle, grapple. So yeah, I'm comfortable anywhere.
So you'd say mixed martial artist.
Yeah, mixed martial
Yeah.
arts.
Yeah, great. About your moniker, did someone give it to you or you nicknamed yourself?
I was training with one of my coaches, Joy Herbert, for one of my fight camps. I think I was a week out and I was hitting some pads, and his missus, Judo J, she just went mini cannon when I was hitting the pads, and since then it stuck a bit. So I thought this is my nickname now, innit?
In your first contest, I mean, you lost via decision, which is, I looked that contest didn't look so bad to me. But can you please say what do you think didn't go well in that contest against, I think, Luke Foden, right?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, I still believe till this day that I won the fight. I believe I got robbed on the judges' scorecard, but at the end of the day, it is what it is, and I'm fighting him again this Saturday, so it's time to get my win back.
All right. In the second, I think it was the second fight. Can you please tell me who learned you to grab leg and counter with the punch? Who learned you that?
Matthias Frederick.
What?
Matthias Frederick. He's the one that showed me that.
He showed you that. Interesting. I've never seen him doing such things, but he learned you well, because this very rarely used in the world of UFC. Even in UFC, a very small number of fighters uses it, and I was like thinking that you saw from some of them there are three or four guys who use that, but this was not us, right?
Yeah, it was it.
Yeah, I should greet him another time for this. Also, I wanted to ask you in the first round, you had some position. I don't know to describe it because I know what is not south, but he was grabbing your head, you were grabbing his. I mean, were you holding a triangle? I'm unable to see what happened 100%. Can you describe this position from the first round?
He was trying to
Reverse.
oh yeah, he was trying to armbar me, so he
Yeah.
switched his hips. I stepped over, triangled my legs, and he couldn't really do nothing with his hips because my legs were triangled, and I couldn't really get out the position because if I didn't triangle my legs, and he'd turn me over. So I just stayed there and just started throwing a few shots. I was on top, so I was winning the round, and thought a few shots would just make it to make sure that I was winning the round and stuff. So yeah.
Okay, how did you finish Harry Kennyworthy via armbar? How were you able to finish that armbar? It wasn't tight and he was rotating to the side. How did you force him to rotate to the other side?
What I done was I set it off the Kimura trap. I meant to take his back, but because he was like longer than me, my legs were too short to get the hook in. So as he was turning, I seen the armbar, took it, and I just clamped my legs tight like a vice grip. And yeah, when he was stacking me, my hips were that tight on him. I was just going wherever he was going, really.
Can you talk a bit on your match against David Adams? Because when I watched it, it looked like you controlled it all the time. To me, it looked like you didn't have a hard time. But can you talk a bit on that match?
No, I didn't really have a hard time. I took that fight on 24 hours notice. Went in there and I just done my thing. The first minute was just a little feeling out process because I didn't really know what he was gonna do. I knew he was a grappler, but he was throwing wild strikes. So I was like, let me just feel him out for a bit and then get comfortable. So yeah.
But accepting something on a short notice, is it very difficult for a fighter, or how is it for a fighter when you accept something on a short notice? I mean, you are not prepared for him and so on. Is it difficult or?
No, not really. I was scheduled to fight anywhere on the show, but the show cancelled on fight week. So I was just game to fight anyone really, just so that my camp didn't go to waste. I was confident in my skills. Every camp that I'm doing, I'm improving. I'm getting a better skill set. I'm feeling stronger and fitter. So I was just ready to take anyone.
Well, this is great because fighters mostly don't like when they change opponents pretty much quickly, which is great for you. I hope this will help you in your career and so on. So who is the next in line for you? Are you scheduled?
I'm scheduled this weekend on GP UK 40 against the guy I lost my debut to, Luke Folden, fighting him for the vacant GP UK flyweight title. So yeah.
Okay, can you just say if I mean about that match how I don't have doubts that you prepared well. I mean I'm sure of that. When you train with Natalis, you got to be prepared well. So do you think your weight class is generally difficult?
No, not really. I'm comfortable moving up a weight and I can fight at my weight. So yeah.
Yeah. And your ultimate MMA dream? I mean, of course, Cage Warriors is underway probably, but is this UFC or some other organization?
My dream is to be UFC champion, Bellator champion, any of the big worldwide promotions. Obviously UFC, but I'd like to fight in Rising, KSW, ACB, all the big promotions.
Do you have a favorite? Any favorite MMA fighter, just any promotion.
I like Jose Aldo. Jose Aldo is one of my favorite fighters.
Jose Aldo. He was also one of mine before he started losing, but now he's kind
Yeah.
of, I don't want to say on a cold streak, but it's not Jose Aldo he was before. Do you have some other fighter which you specially treat or?
I like Luke Rockhold and Chris Weidman as well. Also like there's a wrestler. He used to be in the UFC. He trains at London Shoot. His name's Carlos Ramola. He's a really good wrestler. I like his style.
Oh, I hope you'll score a win this weekend, and I hope everything will go well. And is there something else you'd like to add? We did something else we didn't spoke, and something else you'd like to discover, and so on.
No, nothing really. You can ask me whatever you like.
Well, I have no more questions, but if you want to say anything else, I mean, why not? If we didn't speak on something and so on, if you'd like to add something.
I'd just like to say a big thank you to Camps, Team Renegade, AVT, my Thai boxing coach Henry down at Corfit. Big thank you to my boxing coach Darren down at Fraser's Boxing Club. And I'd like to shout out my sponsors, CBD Life, Safe Jaws, New Optimax, um, and also my fight management, heavy duty fight management, Darren and Carl. They're the guys behind it all. So big thank you to all them guys.
Okay, thanks a lot. I'd like to finish this interview with saying thanks to Natajas, of course, because he helped me a lot and so on. Thanks, and see you all next time. It was one great interview.